1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's all of 4. I played through the first ending, and then I repeated the whole song, and I played through the second ending, and then I ended the song. We're going to go ahead and go through it line by line. If we look at how we start the song off, we know that it is in, the time signature is in 4/4 time, and we know that there are 3 flats in the key signature, B, E, and A. So that means it's in the key of E flat major. So our 3 flats, every time we come across a B, an E, or an A, we'll play a B flat, an E flat, and an A flat every time we come across one of them, unless there's an accidental. So the first measure is a pickup measure. It's before the song starts, so it comes in on the and of the 3rd beat, so we count 1 and 2 and 3 and that's how we start the song. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then throughout the rhythm for the first couple of lines, you have ties. So instead of an 8th note, it's 2 8th notes put together like a quarter note. And they usually carry over from one measure to the next. So it's going to sound like a quarter note instead of an 8th note. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And then that was worth 2. So the rhythm for the first line, 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, and you hold those out. Each tie is like 2 8th notes put together, so you need to count 2 half beats for that. If we look at the notes in the first line, we start with a B flat to a C to an open D. So B flat and C were on the 5th string. B flat, because it's in the key signature that every time we play B, it's a B flat. 1st fret, 3rd fret of the 5th string, and then open D. Okay, and then we're going to go up to, on the D string, the F, E flat, D, and then B flat, C, and then D flat. This is an accidental. It's not in the key signature, but because there's a flat right in front of that D, we're going to play a D flat. So our open string is D, but we're going to bring it down to the flat, which is the 4th fret on the 5th string. We hold that out for 4 measures, and then half of the next measure on the second line. So I'll go ahead and play through the first line. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, rest. And then we go to the next line. The next line, our first measure, starts with an E flat, which is the 1st fret of our D string, the 4th string. So we're going to play the same pattern and rhythm that we did on the last line. We're going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and. It's coming on the and of 3. 1 and 2 and 3. F, E flat, F, G is what we're repeating for the second line. And then, so we have E flat, F, G, E flat, F, G, E flat, F, G, B flat, A, G. B flat is on the G string, 3rd fret. Open G. And then again, E flat. flat, F, but this time a G flat. So if this is our open G string, we need to go down because we're going to flatten it from a G to a G flat, which is on the 4th fret of the D string, or the 4th string. So those last 3 notes on the second line are E flat, F, G flat, and that's our accidental. And since it's tied over, we're going to stay on that G flat for that beat, and then a whole measure for that whole note, and then 1 beat on the next line. So I'm going to play through the first and second lines for you. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then rest. That's our next line, our third line. We have our quarter rest, and then right on the 3rd beat, not on the end of the 3rd beat like the other ones, but straight on the 3rd beat, we're going to start with our F on the D string, 3rd fret, F, G natural, because it's no longer flat, A flat, because it's in the key signature, that's on the 1st fret of the D string, and then A natural, that's our accidental, 1 fret up, A flat to A natural, and then on the 2nd measure of the 3rd line, that's our B flat, for 2 whole beats. So first line, first measure of the 3rd line goes like this. 1, 2. Okay, and that goes into our 2nd measure. So B flat, and then D, E flat, G, B flat, D, E flat, because it's in the key signature, open G, and then on that same string, our B flat, because it's in the key signature. That is our 2nd measure of the 3rd line. So B flat, and then our next measure, the 3rd one of this line, B natural, so B flat to a B natural, open B string, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's how the rhythm goes. And a B natural to an E natural, back down to a B flat, E flat, I'm sorry. B natural, E natural, E flat. We hold that out for the rest of the measure, and then our 4th measure of the 3rd line, we have an 8th rest. So from the 3rd measure, 2, 3, and 4, and rest. So we have a half rest. Rest, C, B flat, A flat, G. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let me try that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So we're gonna have our C, rest C for 3 8th notes. It's worth 3 8th notes, a dotted quarter note. So rest C, B flat, A flat, G. So rest C, B flat, A flat, G, and that G goes for 2 beats, and then our 4th line, we go up again from an F to a G to an A flat to an A natural. And then finally to our 1st ending, we land on the B flat. So I'm going to play the 3rd line for you, and I'm going to go into the 1st ending. So with the pickup, I'll count 2 beats, and then the 3rd line. 1, 2. 2, rest. Accent the B flat. 1st ending. first measure of our first ending, we have a B flat for 2 beats. 1, 2, and then E flat. 1, 2, E flat, G, B flat. So again, first ending, 1, 2. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's how our measure is going to go. And then the next 2 measures are the same rhythm as the line above it. B flat, B natural, E natural, E flat. And then rest, C, B flat, A flat, G. Rest, C, B flat, A, G. And that's the end of our first ending. And then when we repeat that, there are 3 notes at the end of the first ending, and we go back to the repeat sign, and it starts just the same as the beginning. We play through it again. So rest, 1 and 2 and 3. And we start just like that again. Now, we would repeat the whole thing, and then once we get to the 4th measure, 4th line again, the first measure of the 4th line, when we're done with the first measure of the 4th line, we skip to the 2nd ending instead of the 1st ending. And I'm just going to play through the 2nd ending for you, and then I will play through it again. So, from the first measure of the 4th line, starting on the F, 1, 2. And that's how the song ends, from the first measure of the 4th line to the 2nd ending. So, the rhythm is a little bit faster on the 2nd ending than the first ending, because we have a quarter note on the B flat, G, B flat, B natural, E natural. So B flat to the C, to an A flat, to a D on the B string, B flat to an E flat on the 4th fret of the B string. So I'm going to count through the 2nd ending. Just pay attention to the rhythm of the 2nd ending. So from the first measure of the 4th line, 1, 2. The measure is going to end on the and of 4, not on the next measure, but right before the next measure starts. So I'll count through it this time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it ends on the and, not the one of the next measure. So 1, 2.